That's odd. Usually the blood gets off at the second floor.
When it comes to Halloween specials, no one does it better than The Simpsons. The Treehouse of Horror series is still one of my favorite annual events on television. Treehouse of Horror specializes in poking fun and paying homage to some of the greatest horror movies of all time, but one in particular stands out: The Shinning.
You mean Shining?
Shh! You wanna get sued?
The Shinning was a very Simpsons-like take on Stanley Kubrick's 1980 film starring Jack Nicholson, The Shining. Homer takes on the role of Jack Torrance, and over the course of the segment, loses his mind. There's a reason The Shinning sticks out to me above the rest of the fantastic Treehouse of Horror specials, and it's pretty simple.
Cable's out. Think I'll have a beer. Not a drop in the house. What do you know?
Homer, I'm impressed. You're taking this quite well.
I'll kill you. I'll kill all of you.
Homer!
Sorry.
The Shinning used Homer's alcoholism and television addiction to tell a horrifying story. One of the most popular lines in The Shinning comes at the height of Homer's withdrawal. He's been without television and beer for a brief period, but it's weighing on him. When his wife Marge asks how he is, Homer answers,
"No TV and no beer make Homer something something.
Go crazy?
Don't mind if I do!"
and sinks into a world of manic maelstrom. Unlike regular episodes, which uses Homer's alcoholism and TV addiction as a form of comedy, The Shinning sheds a light on how terrifying it actually is for both Homer and his family. It's not just his life that's affected by his drinking, but his family's too.
Mom, is Dad gonna kill us? We're just gonna have to wait and see.
At one point in the segment, Homer's best friend and local bartender Moe appears. When Homer begs him for a beer, Moe says Homer has to kill his family first. At the time, Homer's horrified by the idea, but as time goes on and his withdrawal worsens, he starts to consider it. Unlike The Shining, where Jack's manic change is brought on by isolation, Homer's is spurred by the lack of access to the fixes in his life. He would be just fine living in the mansion, as long as he had beer and TV, but being stuck with his family, sober, and having no means of escapism is what eventually drives him mad. His sobriety becomes too much to deal with, and like any addict, he would do whatever he could to get his fix.
Is that the best you can do?
The saddest and most important part of the segment comes at the very end. Homer and his family are sitting in the cold, frozen to death. But instead of looking panicked or scared, they all have smiles on their faces because they've managed to find a portable TV set. It doesn't matter that they're dying because they finally have the Homer that they know and love back. Homer's mania has vanished, and he's sitting perfectly content in the snow. As his family wraps their arms around him, his hands rest lovingly on the TV. It's a stark portrayal of addiction and reliance on any kind of escapism. And at a time when TV addiction was being taken seriously, this was the mid-90s after all. The message of the episode hit home. The Shinning may not be the funniest Treehouse of Horror special, or even the scariest, but it is without a doubt the most important.
David Letterman!
Hi, David. I'm Grandpa.
Don't! All I need is a title. I was thinking along the lines of no TV and no beer make Homer something something.
Go crazy?
Don't mind if I do! What?